Starts right now.
Facing a public outcry over its use of primates for animal testing, the Texas Biomedical Research Institute withdrawing its funding request through the city bond. A collection of citizen committees was charged with reviewing and recommending what projects should get a piece of the record $1.2 billion bond program.
City staff had recommended Texas Biomed get $11 million of that money, but the nonprofit Research Institute backed out before the committee could make its own decision.
Garrett Berger tells us how it happened.
With a strategic plan in hand, Texas Biomed requested city bond money to help cover infrastructure improvement costs on its aging campus.
What we identified after the storm was that this $30 million of infrastructure improvements in our 10-year plan needed to be accelerated.
But the 2,500 primates at Texas Biomed, not its $11 million request, quickly became the focus. Speakers at meetings and commenters on the city's website urged against giving Texas Biomed public dollars, alleging mistreatment of primates as well as general opposition to animal testing.
The city of San Antonio should not be subsidizing the kind of cruelty inherent in animal testing like what goes on at Texas Biomed.
The pushback was enough to cause at least some concern among the facilities committee over whether that whole portion of the bond could be at risk once it reaches voters.
I'm saying it from the information we gathered at this point that they were in the process of a divorce. So the suspect did make a call to police and she did cooperate with us, and at this time she's in our custody.
The couple have 2 underage children. Both of them have been placed with extended family.
We got new information in connection with a late night shooting we first told you about last night on the Night Beat. We now know the name of the man killed. The Bexar County Medical Examiner identifying that man as 36-year-old Hector Sanchez Dominguez. He was found dead behind the wheel of his truck in the 300 block of Albert Walk. That's on the northwest side. Officers say that they were responding to a call for a major accident, but found Dominguez with multiple gunshot wounds. Paramedics tried to revive him, but could not. Police say that they also got a call for shots fired a few blocks away on West Laurel. Now, connecting the dots, investigators believe Dominguez was shot there and drove to Albert Walk where he crashed.
There are underlying medical conditions, and they're very likely to be hospitalized.
Allsup says Omicron is the latest evolution in the pandemic. Its ups and downs occur at different times in different places. And now?
And we know we have a new variant that's circulating that has the opportunity to make that change even again.
San Antonio's vaccination rate, he says, has no doubt helped.
But I think still a word of caution is important because we can't count on that lasting.
Having seen a small bump after Thanksgiving and now with Christmas coming,
we should always remember we're still at risk. So it's really important people continue to keep their guard up.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
There is still a lot the San Antonio police say they don't know about an overnight shooting on the northeast side. They say an injured man showed up at his friend's home with gunshot wounds. That was in an apartment complex in the 8,000 block of Mid-Crown near Walsham Road. But as Katrina Weber reports, what they haven't found yet is an actual crime scene.
A call for help early in the morning had paramedics working at full speed, trying to treat the gunshot wounds that a man had suffered. While they focused on his belly and arm, San Antonio police took a hard look around the Alamo State's apartments. They also spoke with the friends of the victim who had called them all to the complex in the 8,000 block of Mid-Crown shortly before 5 this morning. Police say it appears the victim, who was in his 20s or 30s, was shot during an argument by someone who he knows. The shooter got into a car and drove away. Although police found the victim in an apartment here, they're convinced this is not where the shooting happened. And they say they weren't able to get a whole lot of information out of him early on. Investigators did collect a few pieces of evidence, including a discarded sneaker and hat. How that plays into the case has yet to be determined. Right after the victim was rushed to a hospital, he underwent surgery, according to police. They hope later on he will be able to provide some answers. At the top of the list are who shot him and where did this happen. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
We have many unanswered questions with this one. Police also trying to figure out exactly what happened that led to a man getting shot in the leg on the city's south side. Officers were called to the 100 block of Whitman Avenue just after midnight last night and have found that the man was injured. Police tell us that it looks like someone shot him while he was inside his car. Well, get this. He told officers he dropped his gun while he was getting out of the car and accidentally shot himself. He was taken to the hospital and is fortunately expected to be okay.
We now know the name of a man killed in a single car crash near Helotes on Monday evening. The Bexar County Medical Examiner identifying him as 20-year-old Edwin Mojica. The crash happened just before 5 p.m. Monday on Highway 16 North near Haby Lane, out past Government Canyon. Bexar County deputies say Mojica lost control of his car, ran off the highway and crashed. It ended up in the trees that you see there. He died at the scene. No one else was involved in this accident. Investigators still trying to determine what caused the driver to lose control.
A woman suspected of drunk driving hospitalized after police say she crashed her car on the far northwest side overnight and happened just before 2 this morning in the 6500 block of UTSA Boulevard. Officers say that the woman was speeding when she tried and failed to make a turn. We're told that she overcorrected, rolled the car, and crashed into a utility pole. The damage was so bad, first responders had to pull her from the car. She was taken to University Hospital. Her injuries were not believed to be life-threatening.
There's about to be some new San Antonio police officers on duty this morning. The graduation class of the 2021 cadets took place at Trinity University. We spoke with one graduate and her father, whose footsteps she's following.
They're the ones that are taking the lead role in protecting this community and representing this community as we move forward. These 37 men and women are walking to this job and to this profession and to the service for the city of San Antonio. How can you not be proud of them?
What I want to do. I know I want to help people. I love my city so much. I'm born and raised San Antonian. This is just what I know I want to do.
Congratulations to both officers Skapanskis. A total of 28 men and 9 women received their badges and diplomas after spending 7 months in training.
Taking a live look across the city right now. Beautiful right now. And of course, you know, we have had another warm day in December. I'm not complaining, but I would love to see some cooler temperatures as we get closer to Christmas.
Aha. Just wait, right, Adam?
Wait a few more hours. Tomorrow we're going to see the temperatures fall off. And it's going to be another brief little dip in temperatures, but it's going to be very noticeable. I mean, today, our high temperature was right around 80. We were 79 in San Antonio, and that's 3 degrees shy of the record high for the day today. Cotulla, Pleasanton, Hondo all hit or even exceeded 80 degrees. Very different as we go into the weekend. Right now we're in the 70s, 75 in Hondo, 73 Uvalde, 75 San Antonio, Kerrville now 72 degrees. And we're not going to see much of a temperature drop the rest of this evening and tonight. I mean, by midnight we'll be down near 70, so still unseasonably warm, a little bit humid out there with low clouds, maybe a stray sprinkle. The real activity comes tomorrow. Cold front arrives in the morning, temperatures much cooler all weekend, best chance of rain tomorrow. We're going to talk more about it in just a bit.
This SA Salutes holiday greeting is brought to you by Bob Mills Furniture.
To all the San Antonio military families, I'm Bob Mills, wishing you a Merry Christmas and thank you for your service.
The pandemic has made having a home more important than ever. The housing market, supply chain issues, and prices going up are just some of the problems people were facing. Tonight on Night Beat, how Habitat for Humanity still accomplished their goals.
A special surprise just in time for Christmas. Tonight on the Night Beat, how an unexpected tip has changed one San Antonio mother's life. That story coming up at 10.
Now, the city of San Antonio wants to hear from people who live in the area near I-35 and Loop 410 on the northeast side as officials try to plan for continued growth.
Yeah, our Samuel King joins us now. Sam, more transportation options, part of the discussion.
Steve and Japhanie, they want to ensure the area has multiple ways for people to get around, including by car, transit, on bike, or on foot, as more development comes to the area. The city's planning department held a virtual community meeting last night to discuss the SA Tomorrow regional plan and the draft recommendations coming out of it for that area. They include improving safety on corridors considered dangerous for pedestrians like Perrin Vital Road and Randolph Boulevard. Also adding more connections to trails and bike routes, and also supporting transit projects and infrastructure near transit stations. Planners say coordination with TxDOT will also be important in years to come as that major project we told you about earlier this week gets underway soon.
I think that as development occurs, it's going to be incumbent upon the city to continue to work with TxDOT. Because TxDOT, their plans, the construction that they plan on doing along I-35 is going to have an impact on what we do in the city and how we respond.
Work will begin on expanding I-35 in the northeast corridor there in the middle of 2022, and it will take a few years to complete. The planners say the community also wants a direct connection from Wurzbach Parkway to I-35, but that would have to wait until after that major work on I-35 is complete. So we'll take a look at that. The city is taking feedback on that regional plan through the end of January. We'll have a link on our website, KSAT.com. The issues are not on I-35 tonight. The big issues are on I-10. We'll start out here. This is I-10 at Woodstone heading westbound. So if you're heading that way, we've been watching this here for about 45 minutes now. You can still see a couple of lanes blocked there, slow traffic. So let's take a look at that travel time. 31 minutes now between downtown and 1604, 19 minutes coming inbound. So that crash there just north of Heedman Road having some major impacts. Also watching this situation here in far east Bexar County near the county line. We told you about this at 5 o'clock. I-10 westbound of 1518 still causing major delays here. 7 miles in the red, but coming out of Guadalupe County into Bexar County approaching 1604. So if you know someone who was heading that way, that's why they're late, because they've been stuck in that traffic for a little bit. So your travel time coming out of Seguin right now, more than an hour and a half, 94 minutes, because people are at that standstill there right here at the county line. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the hour. Hopefully that improves soon. But again, if you're heading I-10 west out to Bernie, if you're coming I-10 west in from Seguin into San Antonio, some major delays this evening. Stephen Jaffney.
Thank you, Sam. All right, this is a live look over the Alamo tonight. And if you wondered where Myra Arthur was, she was hosting an event here. They've unveiled a new part of the Alamo that was under renovation at the Palisades area, I believe is what it is called. And so Myra was out there for the official opening of that new section of the Alamo. It's a pretty picture, though.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of exciting stuff. Of course, we're going to turn our attention over to weather right now. Adam, please, oh, please tell me this is the last time I'm going to have to crank the AC up on my car ride home.
I can't guarantee that, because I do foresee another warming trend in the extended forecast. And something I want to talk about here, not so much the aquifer. We give you the aquifer and pollen every day, but especially the pollen count. Mountain cedar high at 9,500 today. Mold's moderate. But the point is, mountain cedar, it's already high, and that's with the southerly wind. We all know that once we get the northerly wind this time of year during cedar season, the count rises even more. Well, I anticipate the cedar breeze to kick in tomorrow. Right now, we've got the wind off the Gulf of Mexico at about 13 miles per hour. We're anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Look at our future cast here in terms of the wind gusts. We go through time. Tomorrow morning, they switch out of the north, and we'll see some gusts up to 40 miles per hour. There's a higher concentration of those cedar trees, usually around the hill country, and so when we get that northerly wind, well, we usually see an uptick in our mountain cedar count. So I anticipate that cedar breeze to kick in tomorrow with some gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So that's something to keep in mind. Not just windy, but also some itchier, scratchier eyes probably because of the time of year with the north wind. Here's the big picture in terms of the moisture in the mid and upper levels of our atmosphere. The purple and white indicates the deeper moisture in our sky. That's been streaming off the Pacific for several days now, and it's going to continue to do so tomorrow. It's just one ingredient to the rainfall potential that we're looking at tomorrow. Also, upper level disturbance dropping into Southern California. That's going to throw some energy our way Saturday and even into Sunday. But our highest rainfall potential is really tomorrow. So we're going to focus on that right now. Cold front pushing southward. It's already through the panhandle of Texas. Moving through North Texas. It's taking its time, but it's going to make it here tomorrow morning, probably a few hours after sunrise. We could see a few showers out ahead of that front a little before sunrise, a few isolated or widely separated ones. This is 6 a.m. And by the way, this futurecast, I think, has the best representation of what we can expect tomorrow. We get to 10 a.m. Cold front hits, with it more numerous showers and even thunderstorms. So a little bit of lightning and thunder, the off chance of a stray severe storm. But we're not expecting really much, if anything, in terms of severe weather. Just that very, very minimal chance. And we get into the afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock, still some widespread activity. And within those downpours, we could easily see a quick inch of rain in the locations that actually get those downpours. But after 3 o'clock, we'll see the rain really start to taper off, and it wouldn't shock me if we actually had a little bit of late day sunshine right before sunset. So here's the takeaway here. The best chance of rain between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. You look at the graph here. Look at it this way, 5 a.m. a 20% chance, but by 8 a.m. we're up to 70%. And then we get to 5 p.m. and we're back down to 20%. So 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the main time frame for our rainfall potential. Quick inch within some of those downpours. So cross your fingers for your neighborhood. I know the timing's not perfect, being the weekend and a Saturday right before the holidays, but we could use the moisture. It's a good thing it's coming. There's the cold front. Look at the temperatures, 40s and 50s behind it on the cool side. That's where we're going to be come tomorrow morning. So we're in the 70s now. We're not going to drop much the rest of the night. We'll be near 70 degrees, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., even 9 a.m. tomorrow, right near 70. But by 10 a.m., we're down to 53. Noon through the rest of the day, right near 50 degrees. So despite it being still a little muggy and warm first thing in the morning tomorrow, most of the day is going to be a lot cooler down near 50 degrees. So get ready for that chill to creep back in. And of course, the wind is going to be high with the cedar breeze, that north wind, and then the rain chances falling off. So evening plans tomorrow, any outdoor evening plans, I think you'll be okay in terms of rain. It's just going to be the wind and the cool temperatures you'll be dealing with. Sunday, let's talk about Sunday now. Upper level energy, cloudy, some hit or miss, off and on, scattered light rain showers periodically throughout the day on Sunday, and a high of only 50 degrees. So we're feeling that fall chill in the air this weekend. Next week we warm up and we'll have a lack of humidity, so comfortable 60s, then 70s, a lot of sunshine, and right now Christmas is looking on the warm side.
I tell you, I wanted some snow. But I get I'm not going to get that.
Yeah, probably not going to happen.
Yes, but definitely want to keep your Weather Authority app handy this weekend for sure.
Absolutely. All right, Meet Nation may get there a little bit later, but the Roadrunners are now in Frisco, Greg.
Yeah, and we're with them too. We're going to be with them for the next 5 days as they prepare for their third bowl appearance ever in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. You see her arriving at their team headquarters just about an hour and a half ago. And what is motivating Dak Prescott now? Coming up. Here we go. The UTSA Roadrunners have arrived at their hotel headquarters for the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, making the trip by bus from San Antonio up I-35 to Frisco today, where they will call home for the next 5 days, led by second-year head coach Jeff Traylor. The Conference USA champions will put their 12-1 record on the line when they face San Diego State on Tuesday with a shot at their first-ever bowl win. With more, let's take it live to Frisco. That's where we have our Larry Ramirez set to follow the Roadrunners all week long. And a good start already, Larry.
Yes, it is off to a great start indeed, Greg. You know what? We got in around 10 this morning and we came right here to Toyota Stadium in Frisco. That is the site of the Frisco Bowl between UTSA and San Diego State. And let me tell you what, there is not a bad seat in the house. Check it out. Here is some video that photog Adam shot this morning from inside Toyota Stadium. It's a soccer-specific venue and home of MLS club FC Dallas. The 20,500 seat stadium opened in 2005. And again, there is not a bad seat in this place. Upon arriving at the team hotel today, Coach Traylor was asked about the approach and mentality the last few days at practice.
They've been great. These kids have been wonderful since the day I got here, and nothing's changed. I told them, don't be the guy, when you go on the family vacation that ruins the whole trip. If it's probably something that doesn't go right, let's don't be that way. Let's have a good time, enjoy this last time together. For all of our seniors, this is it. We'll never be with these guys again, so we want to send them out the right way.
Yeah, everybody's happy, just being here. And everybody's really soaking in and taking in the moment.
The Roadrunners are currently enjoying the arrival team meal at the Winners Club at Toyota Stadium, which is right behind me. Greg, we'll have much more on the Night Beat. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Larry.
Football coverage powered by Davis.
Dallas Cowboys star quarterback Dak Prescott is in a slump, even though he doesn't believe he is. That stats don't lie, though. Before his calf injury, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. After 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, proclaiming he is a healthy. Prescott was asked if he hears what is being said about him, including his own team owner, and does it motivate him?
I think I'd be lying if I said I haven't heard it. But yeah, in a sense it does. But I've been doubted my whole life, been said I couldn't do this or I can't do that. So in a sense, I'm actually glad it's kind of come back. I'm glad that that's the way that the people feel, and there's a lot of that being said right now. I'd be lying if I said I didn't hear it.
All right, we'll see what happens when the Cowboys travel to New York to face the Giants on Sunday. More coaching changes in the Judson Independent School District. We told you about Mark Soto yesterday, leaving Johnson for his homecoming to Judson High School to become the Rockets' new head football coach. But there are also other changes coming to Veterans Memorial after the Patriots head coach Richard Mendoza decided to move into administration. Will be replaced by Robert Irvin, who has been with the Patriots coaching staff since its inception in 2016 and more recently, offensive coordinator.
Veterans Memorial High School is a special place. I'm an original Patriot. I've been there since the school opened. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to continue the things that we've started there and just keep getting better and better and earn everything every day together.
And congratulations to Central Catholic quarterback Silas Gomez, who signed his letter of intent to play for Sam Houston State after being named first team All-District and first team All-State.
I really trust what the head coach, Coach Keeler, has been doing, and they've been putting up like really big numbers. They've gone 22-1 these past 2 seasons, and I just feel like I can continue that legacy and that tradition and that powerhouse program, and then them bumping up to Conference USA, it's going to be even bigger. So I'm just ready for all that.
Yeah, keep in mind they're one of the replacements after UTSA left Conference USA. There you go.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back.
He was born and raised in South Africa. He calls San Antonio his home now. Reverend Andries Coetzee of University Presbyterian Church. We talked to him, I guess it was maybe about a week ago, from South Africa. Now he is home, and I understand you just got out of quarantine. There was a 14-day, 10-day quarantine that you went through?
Well, Stephen, definitely, it's so good to be back home and in San Antonio, and it's especially good to be out of quarantine. Yes, it's actually an interesting story how we ended up in quarantine. But I think what really encapsulates our experience is a tweet that a Canadian epidemiologist actually sent out recently, and Madhu Pahi, and he reminded us that the COVID-19 is actually people against a viral pandemic, not people against people. Stop racializing variants. Yeah, and I think my experience is basically that we should stop racializing variants.
And that's what I want to specify. The last time we talked, you were in South Africa right as the Omicron variant was discovered there. And we talked a lot about the fact that, yeah, it was discovered in South Africa, but it has been discovered in other places before that, yet South Africa was kind of feeling the brunt of the reaction to that entire thing.
And, South Africans continue to feel the brunt of the reaction. In a country that is still struggling to overcome the past, or the injustices of the past, this travel ban against South Africa is absolutely crippling the tourist industry. I think as San Antonians, we can really resonate how much we depend on tourism. And you can just imagine with Christmas just around the corner, people are struggling right now. When we left South Africa last week, Thursday, the airport was absolutely a ghost town. I mean, there were 3 flights leaving, actually to the US. There was a United flight leaving to New York, and then we took a Delta flight to Atlanta. And so those were about the only passengers we saw.
Now, Reverend, I know last time we spoke, you mentioned the inequity regarding the access to the vaccine in South Africa. And obviously, there are different safety measures that are happening there. How would you describe that transition period, like in comparison to South Africa and when you arrived here in San Antonio?
First of all, I'm very glad to be in San Antonio. I really want to thank our leaders, our Mayor Ron Nuremberg and Judge Wolf, for the way they handle the pandemic and is still handling the pandemic. And it actually, on local level, it is very much the same as in South Africa. Let's do the basic right. Let's get people vaccinated. And that is the spirit within South Africa. And coming back, I think the biggest glitch we experienced was that we came back last Friday. We actually arrived here in San Antonio about 1:30. we went to one of our favorite restaurants, and Sunday or Saturday morning, we received an email that we need to be in quarantine for about 7 days and undergo a PCR test. So we gladly do that, but I think there's a little bit about a discrepancy in how we handle the CDC and local health departments. And this is exactly what we saw happened with the Omicron variant. South Africa was able to detect the variant very fast, and here in the United States, we struggle because we have this hodgepodge of testing between states and local health authorities, where South Africa have more national health testing, which help them deal with the disease, variant in a very efficient way.
When you arrived in South Africa and you came from the United States, did you have to quarantine when you were there, or did you have to have so many negative tests? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the difference is when you entered South Africa and left South Africa compared to, just what you had to go through as far as COVID testing and detection.
Well, thank you, Steve, for asking, because I think it comes down to trust. South African government really trusts countries like the United States because we know how much we depend on countries like the United States and Britain and Canada, and we trust the science, we trust the PCR tests. When I came back, the US actually did recognize the PCR test and the COVID test of South Africa. But for instance, if I would have flown to Canada, South African and Canadians still struggle. They still have to be in isolation. Canada actually doesn't even recognize the South African PCR test. And that shows you, once again, we are people against a pandemic and not people against people. And we should stop racializing variants and discredit the scientists and the science of other countries.
I know one of your biggest messages is that we're in this together. How would you hit the ground running with letting people know that's the biggest point behind all of this?
Thank you so much for lifting that out, because it is indeed true. We are all in this together. And once again, in South Africa, they make it clear, get vaccinated, wear your mask, disinfect your hands. If each one of us can do what we can and get vaccinated, we can actually face Omicron based on science. If we can get every person in Africa vaccinated, then we all will be healthier for it. We are an interconnected world, and we belong to a global family.
Andres Coetzee from University Presbyterian Church. Dries, thank you so much for your time. I'm glad you're home. I'm glad you finally get to leave the house now.
Right.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Daphne. You have a good Friday night, and thank you for the privilege to be with you.
Yeah, take care. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Some construction updates. One more night of this week. This is alternating lane closures on 1604 between I-10 and Bandera Road at 9 p.m. through 5 p.m. This will actually start up again on Sunday night, so we'll update the graphic next week. We'll be here next week to do that. Also, watch out for lane closures and various things here on Loop 1604 North, including at Blanco Road. Once again, that also getting started on Sunday. On Monday, up here in Kendall County, we've been telling you about this major project there to frontage roads and exits and the like. The eastbound ramp to State Highway 46 reopening here. Beginning on Monday as they continue to bridge work. They hope to have that wrapped up in the spring, a new bridge over here as they again reconstruct parts of I-10 to handle the growing traffic in the Bernie area. Now back in here to San Antonio, a couple of issues. We told you about that crash on I-10 and Woodstone. We'll have an update on that in a second. Also here on the northeast side, I-35 northbound, some delays. Things getting a lot better here though, coming out of Seguin. We had that crash earlier on I-10 westbound at 1518. So let's take a look at these travel times heading inbound. Now you're down to 64 minutes, still more than an hour, but it's not 90 minutes like it was earlier. But still some major delays coming out of New Braunfels to downtown, 52 minutes. This is 35 at Walsham. As you can see, traffic flowing well once you get to Walsham and I-10 and Woodstone. Again, that crash is now cleared, guys.
Thank you, Samuel. Live cam outside, 74 degrees. Kind of hard to believe in just a few hours,
right,
it's going to plunge.
Yeah. So, except I'm looking forward to it, though. Adam, that's what we need.
Yeah, we need the moisture. We need the rainfall. I know the timing's not ideal, but rain is likely tomorrow morning on into the early afternoon. As for temperatures, no changes this evening or tonight. I mean, we're 75 right now. We'll gradually drop down to near 70 at midnight, and we're going to stay there through sunrise tomorrow. It's later tomorrow morning. That's when we really see the temperature fall off and a big temperature drop. So we'll talk about the temperature change, the rainfall potential, look at the futurecast, and of course, the gusty winds headed our way. Coming right up.
Got a fun Christmas story for you, from a delivery dilemma to a sweet surprise for a grandmother in Arizona. It all started when 6 Nintendo Switches were mistakenly delivered to Deborah Lewis's doorstep. Now, she just wanted to give them back. She tried several times to return them to a nearby Target store, but get this, she didn't have much luck.
Yeah, for all the effort that Lewis made, Target had something else in store for the Phoenix area woman. You saw those 2 Target employees arrive at her home to pick up the gaming systems. That's what she thought was going to happen. They had something else in mind. On behalf of Target, the employees gave the gaming systems to the grandmother of 8 instead and told her, give them to her grandchildren or whomever she wants.
It's such a sweet, sweet story right there. I love to see Christmas stories.
I hope none of the grandchildren watched, because I don't want Christmas to be spoiled by knowing what's coming.
Adam, coming up with Christmas, seems like we're going to have a toasty one instead of a snowy one.
Well, it looks like we will warm up again toward Christmas as we get into next week. But this weekend, very different. We're going to see big changes starting tomorrow morning, so get ready for it. And let's talk about our almanac today. We topped out at 79 degrees, so that's well above the average of 64. And we're only a few degrees shy of the record high, 82 degrees. We topped out at 83 Pleasanton, 83 Cotulla. Get ready for huge changes to last throughout the entire weekend. Let's talk about rain chances. Okay, we're looking at the water vapor imagery, satellite imagery, and the purple and the white on the screen indicates high moisture content in our air, especially higher above us. And that's been streaming in off the Pacific Ocean for quite a few days now. It's just thickened up a bit right now and will be this way through the weekend. We also have an upper level disturbance coming through Southern California. That Pacific moisture, low level Gulf moisture that's in place, this upper disturbance, and of course a cold front, all combining and working together to create the showers and storms we're expecting tomorrow morning through the early afternoon. There's the cold front, basically approaching Interstate 20 in North Texas now, and it's slowly working its way southward. It's going to be here a few hours after sunrise tomorrow morning. And here's our futurecast, and I think this computer model gives us the best representation of what we can expect tomorrow. A few pre-dawn showers or storms possible, but I think most of the rain is going to be roughly between about 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. So we progress through the morning. This is 10 a.m. Then we go to noon, 1 p.m. and into the early afternoon. We're expecting the most widespread activity then. Late morning, midday, on into the early afternoon. And some of these showers will contain some thunder and lightning. We'll have a few thunderstorms, so we can't rule out some heavier accumulations in some spots. We could have a quick inch to inch and a half within some of those downpours. So cross your fingers for your neighborhood. I know the timing's not ideal with the holidays approaching and it being a Saturday, but we need the moisture. We could use it, and it looks like we're getting some much needed rainfall. By 4 or 5 o'clock, it's pretty much all out of here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we squeeze in a little bit of late day sunshine right before sunset. Here's another way to look at those rain chances. 5 a.m., 6 a.m. tomorrow, we're talking 20% chance. By 8 a.m., we're up to 70%. And by 5 p.m., we're back down to 20%. So again, that 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. time frame, give or take, that's what we're expecting for the highest rainfall potential. That cold front in terms of temperatures, out ahead of it, we've got the 70s near 80 degrees. Behind it, Amarillo now 47, Guyman, Oklahoma at 44 degrees. And our temperatures aren't going to change much the rest of the night. Upper 60s now in the hill country. We're just going to fall off another maybe 4 or 5 degrees for tonight into tomorrow morning. So 6 a.m. tomorrow, 70 degrees. 8, 9 a.m., 70 degrees. Then by about 10 a.m., that strong cold front should hit, and we're down to 53. And then we spend the rest of the day tomorrow right near 50 degrees. So despite this unseasonably warm and somewhat humid air in place through tonight and even sunrise tomorrow, most of the day tomorrow is going to be in the lower 50s to near 50 degrees. So much cooler, damp with the off and on showers and thunderstorms, and then the wind. It's another story. It's been southeasterly. That's why we have that mugginess in place, which adds to our rainfall potential, by the way. But here's our future cast for the wind. Once that front hits about 10 a.m., boom, the winds pick up. And I think by the noon hour, we'll have wind gusts of around 40 miles per hour. And that's going to be the case through the afternoon and even on into Saturday evening. So the rain's going to be out of the way for Saturday evening plans. Any outdoor plans Saturday evening, you should be okay. But remember, it's still going to be windy and cold with those temperatures falling off. Then Sunday, we start near 39 degrees, high temperature of only 50, and upper level energy giving us some scattered, basically periodic light showers on Sunday. Next week, warmer, 60s, 70s, low humidity. And keep in mind, north wind this weekend, that's the cedar breeze. Cedar count should spike.
Well, with all that sun that's coming up, it looks like I need to add some sunglasses to Mr. Jangles as a Christmas ornament.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's my Christmas tree for you guys.
Mr. Jangles.
Mr. Jangles.
You named your Christmas tree.
I did.
All right, I like it. In case you missed it, coming up next. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
And a good morning to you. It is Friday, December 17th.
New this morning, we have learned the name of a woman shot and killed yesterday morning while leaving a bar. The medical examiner says she was 35-year-old Marie Gonzalez. The shooting happened around 1 a.m. yesterday on Hay Street near North New Braunfels Avenue. Police say several people left the bar and were hanging out in the corner when someone started shooting. Officers found Gonzalez shot in the head.
We're starting with breaking news this noon. A man in his 40s dead. His wife now in custody following a shooting on the northeast side. Police called to this home on Pine Country just after 9 o'clock this morning. That's near Judson and Nacogdoches. Police tell us that they believe the shooting stemmed from a domestic disturbance between the couple.
A woman whose body was found on the city's west side Tuesday has now been identified. Medical examiners say she is 41-year-old Danette Bixler. Police found Bixler's body in a ditch around 11 Tuesday night under a bridge. It was on Calabar Road near General McMullen and Northwest 24th Street. Officers say they don't know how Bixler's body got there, but it looked like it had been there for a while.
With COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations on the rise, federal officials are urging the public to keep their guard up.
We need the American people to do their part, to protect themselves, their children, and their communities.
The Delta variant remains a problem, but some health experts say the highly transmissible Omicron strain could soon wreak even more havoc on the country. The concerns come as many Americans get ready for holiday travel and indoor gatherings. The U.S. is now averaging more than 120,000 new cases each day, according to data from Johns Hopkins University.
Watching a few issues here and there, including on the northeast side on at 35 approaching 1604. Some major slowdowns there. You're down to 7 miles per hour approaching 1604. So between New Braunfels and Loop 410 in San Antonio, 44 minutes heading northbound, 40 minutes southbound. So some delays out there if you're heading out and about. Also a new crash here, Adam, at 1604 eastbound at John Peace near UTSA.
Little known fact, I helped coach a mountain biking team for middle schoolers here in San Antonio. We're supposed to ride tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's not going to happen. We've got widespread rain, a few thunderstorms, especially between about 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., then windy and cooler, 52 tomorrow afternoon.
If we had more time, I'd ask more about the mountain biking team.
It's rowdy.
See you on the Night Beat at 10.